Hi, Queens. Sam here. Welcome to day 22 of the 30 in 30, and also my last day before I return to work. So, tomorrow is going to be my first day after a good 1 year plus of maternity leave. I'll be heading back to work tomorrow. So, this week has been quite difficult emotionally, a lot of ups and downs, and also because I am also I took my twins to their daycare that I found for them and to help them start adjusting so then I can go back to work with a bit of peace of mind. But, we're still working on that. It's not easy for them as well. It's brand new. So everybody's still adjusting. And unfortunately, mommy needs to go back to work because, mommy still hasn't figured out how to make money without having a job, or mommy still hasn't figured out how to get a remote job, but mommy is working on it. And in my video today, I wanted to share the three things that I actually do believe that as a single mother by choice, strongly think that you should have in place. I don't really like to use the should because sometimes I find it a bit like you're giving an order. That's not the way, that's not what I'm thinking, but I strongly suggest that because when you start having your own family, your own children, we need to realize that there are our responsibility. Even if, as I mentioned in my video or on Single Mother by Choice, my other video of this series, how it's important to have your village in place. Your village could still be there, present and everything, but at the end of the day, your children are your responsibility. That applies for any parent, whether you're a single parent or in common law or married. But because you are on your own for the most part, and that you are solely responsible for those kids, I'll say there are three things. As I was really thinking about the cost of children, which I also mentioned in my other video about the three fast tracks to financial freedom and how having kids does cost money. Um, one thing that definitely I don't think they actually factor in the cost of having children is that you're going to be probably having additional expenses that you did not have prior to having the kids. And it's not so much, directly related to the kids, but those are things that you will probably strongly think of putting in place. So what are those things? The first one is insurance. And in that, I will put life insurance, critical illness insurance, and disability insurance. So before having my kids, I had life insurance for a certain amount, and I did not have critical illness. Actually, no, I had critical illness for a small amount, and then I did not have disability insurance. As of end of last year, I have increased my life insurance amount. I have also not actually kept my critical illness the same amount, and I have gotten disability insurance. Now, a lot of us working for employers, we might have those as part of our benefits already with the employer. That works if you are planning on staying with that employer. So one of my good friends, she is married, they have kids, and she really doesn't believe in any type of insurance because she's like, I have it with my employer, and that's perfectly fine. If you look at the coverage and that works for you, and you know you see yourself in 10, 15, 20 years old still working for that employer, then that's fine. I have those benefits as well with my current employer. However, since I'm not planning to be working until I retire regular, retirement age that we know of between 60 and 65 or even more than 65, very important for me to have those type of insurance in place. What happens is that those they comes at an additional cost. So insurance right now that I have in place for myself and also for my kids, because I did get also insurance for my kid. Well, it really comes to a healthy amount out of my pocket every month. But it is important. It is crucial for me, right? Because the life insurance is if something was to happen, it's a temporary life insurance. If something was to happen to me, um, in the next 25 years, you know, I want to make sure that my kids will have enough to live on. I know my family will step in and they will be cared for and everything. But I also don't want to leave that financial burden. I'm already going to be leaving them with that additional humans to take care of full time. I would like to be able to contribute something financially, and that is the life insurance will come in play. Of course, my investments and all of that also will be taken into consideration. But what is good with life insurance is that it doesn't go through probate. You bypass your will. It goes directly, if you name your beneficiaries, it goes directly to the beneficiaries. And so for me, was that was really important. And then the critical illness is because I'm a sole income earning in the family. Everything is based on my income. So if something was to happen, though here in Canada, healthcare is affordable. Actually, it's free in most provinces because we pay for healthcare through our taxes. But there might be still some care that I will need, which might need me to actually pay for it, or that we have a long wait list for specialized surgeries, and depending on the gravity of the situation that I may find myself in, I may want to go into another country to actually get the operation done, right? So having a critical illness insurance that will allow me to it gives you access to a lump sum amount if the condition that you have is listed in that in the condition that are actually covered, and usually it's between 20 and 25 conditions that are covered. They just give you the lump sum amount and literally you do what you want to do with it, but it will serve as a replacement of my income, right? Because if I have to go on a leave, that may or may not be paid by my employer, and that may or may not be at 100%, right? So having a nice lump sum that is coming will definitely help me for a little while, hopefully before I get back on my feet. And then the disability insurance is also, if something was to happen, now apparently you have more chances to get disabled than lose your life apparently. So whether in that will be more for long-term disability, because short-term disability usually most employers will cover it, but like for long-term disability, again, that may or may not be provided with your employer. So having that, and if you are the sole income earner, and as all of single mother by choice will probably be, it's important to have that type of insurance. Now, you don't have to be single mother by choice to absolutely have those three insurance in place. People are married with kids and they have those insurance, to each its own. But I do believe having those three type of insurance in place can really bring you peace of mind. And I want to acknowledge that it is additional, it comes at an additional cost. I had to reduce some other categories of spending so then I could actually pay for insurance. But for me, right now, I don't see it as a nice to have. I see it as a must have. And I went for the level of coverage that I felt like I needed. I didn't take anything extra just for the sake of it. But I went for a level that was like, if I were to be diagnosed with a critical illness, or if I were to be disabled, how much then the insurance agent will help you also. How much do I think that I will need before hopefully I can get back on my feet? So, first thing, insurance. The second that definitely will be great to do, and definitely after you have your child or your children, is to put a will in place along with a power of attorney and potentially a trust. So I didn't have a will before having my first child, but probably the same year that he was born, I went ahead and got a will in place, because for me it was, I was like, okay, now I have a dependent, I have a minor that who actually depend on me. So in case something was to happen, I want to make sure, in addition to the life insurance and whatnot, to be able to dictate exactly to my family how I want my assets to be distributed. And so I don't want the government to do that for me. I don't want to put that burden on any executor. I want to be clear in the way that I want my asset to be distributed. I come from a large family, and so for me it was a matter of sitting and doing listing all of my assets, listing all of my liabilities, and seeing how I want things to be distributed. Of course, my children will get the most of my estate because, probably there will be the youngest one of the family and the one that will need more help until they become independent. So I don't have a trust, but I do have a power of attorney and also a will in place to is exactly that. Say how I want things to be done when I get called back. And then the third thing that definitely it will be good for you to do shortly after you have your child is education fund. So essentially, starting contributing to your children education. And so here in Canada, we have the registered education savings plan. And I believe for my friends down in the US, you guys have the 529. And so here in Canada, it is a great fund to put money in. We are allowed to put a total of 50,000 over the lifetime of the fund until the child start going to, I believe, high school or college. They will have access to the money that is in there. So you can, it's called savings plan, but really it's an investment. You don't want to be just putting your money in there and letting inflation eating at your power of purchase over the year. So you really want to be investing. So then compound interest will work for you, and you will be able to make some money at the end of it. And for us, we also have an advantage in the sense that depending on how much we contribute, the government will match, not match, but they will give us um, kind of like an additional money. To help us, and I believe they can contribute. The government can give a maximum of 7,200 over the lifetime of the account as well. So it's quite interesting to put in place. And for me, it's a way to already have some money for their education that I don't need to be, when they're ready to go to school, starting thinking about that. So I'm already thinking about that now, and my children are quite young. It's you cannot start this earlier. Of course, you want them to be born because you need to provide the information about the child, but I literally did all that the same year that my oldest was born, like the whole getting all of my insurance, the type of insurance that I needed in place, except the disability. That one I didn't have it until end of last year, and then I did my will, my power of attorney also, and I opened an RESP. We call it RESP here in Canada for my child, and started saving money for his account. And he's only 4 right now, and there's already quite a decent amount in his education plan, and we're just starting. And I just opened one also for my twin and started putting money in there. So when you look at all that, as you can see, those are additional money that probably you were not paying for before having the children. You didn't have to have any education funds in place. Probably, maybe you didn't put your will in place or your power of attorney, and same thing for your insurance. Of course, the will and power of attorney, those are like fixed costs that you'll have to pay once and that's it. But insurance, it will be recurring, right? You'll have to pay it until it expires or you decide to cancel it. And same thing for your contribution to the plan. Maybe when you hit the maximum, I hope I get to hit the maximum in my kids' account. But seriously, $50,000 per kid, that's a total of 150,000. So I don't know how I'm gonna make that happen, but I have 15 years because I think you can contribute over 15 years to figure that out. But for now, I'm making sure to put money in their education plan every month. So for me, when it comes to really starting your journey as single mother by choice, the money aspect cannot be minimized. If you're someone and it's really hard for you to look at your money in general, you really want to be more diligent with that, because once you're going to be having those little ones with you, you don't want an additional headache on how to arrange the whole money aspect of things, and you're going to have already so much to deal with. So if there is a way for you to start already planning the whole money aspect and things that you may need, and making sure that you're already contributing to that, and almost like as a sinking fund or something like that, start doing. You cannot start as, if that's really your goal, even if it's like 5 years down the road, you can already start saving money right now in terms of, um, putting money aside for whenever you're gonna get that insurance, or I mean, even insurance, it's always good to get it as early as possible, to be quite honest. So you can go ahead and get those, your will and purchase the power of attorney. You don't really have to wait either. You can go ahead and put that in place and maybe update them once you have your child if there are things that you want to change. And when it comes to your RESP or your 529, it's really when the child is born. But you want to be able to contribute to that, because once you have paid for formula, for diapers, for daycare, for so many other things that are kids related costs, and then you look at your how much money you have left, if you haven't already baked into your money plan that you want to have money for your education, it's going to be really hard for you to um, like to find that money. That's just what it is. So, there you have it. Let me know in the comments below how this lands with you. But I really wanted to focus on those items that are money related, that are definitely going to be, making your expenses increase. And that, like I say, that's like um, above and beyond all of the day to day cost that you're already going to be having by having, by bringing into this world those beautiful babies that are going to be relying on you 100% for their future and their well-being. So, if this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, go ahead, hit the like button, and also subscribe to the channel here. Share with anyone that you think might get any value from my video here, and also hit the notification bell. Don't forget to do that after you subscribe, so then you get a notification when I come up with my next video. And I want to thank you again for coming back every day, watching me. I think we almost close now, day 22 today. So I guess 8 more videos to go. Crazy how time flies. But I've been also very happy with myself that I'm still here and sharing content with you. Thank you again for watching. And until tomorrow, keep on building wealth.